Welcome to Present Company, on the go, hustle free insights and inspiration for grown up women entrepreneurs who want to make a living without missing their lives. Hey, everybody, welcome. I'm Alex Strauss, author of The Mindful Walker, creator of Alex Strauss Online. I'm a teacher and I'm a holistic life and business coach. And I'm glad you're with me today because today we're going to continue on that list that I mentioned to you last time. If you didn't listen to last week's episode, sometime go back and listen to that because I've got some powerful stuff over the next few weeks. Well, hopefully longer than that. Hopefully every episode I can bring to you will be powerful. But I talked about how on a recent walk in nature, because a lot of you guys know that I'm a huge advocate for spending time in the natural world as a way to support our bodies, minds, and spirits, and by extension, our businesses as well. And I was out on a walk a week or so ago, and I had this, and I'd been struggling with with subjects to how to talk about marrying those ideas about spending time in nature and getting really grounded and living a mindful life and centering ourselves in the present and getting in touch with our intuition, all those sort of woo-woo things with business, with running a successful entrepreneurial business. And I'd been struggling with how to talk about this. Like, do I talk about one kind of woo-woo thing one week and then I talk about business strategy the next week? That didn't really sit right with me because that's not the way I live. It's not the way I run my businesses. It's all one to me. I walk every day. I meditate in nature daily, and I do it as part of my business strategy. All of the things that I teach and talk about in terms of connecting with the natural world and connecting with ourselves, it's all part of my daily business strategy. So I didn't want to separate the two, but I didn't know how to bring the two together. And what happened was I was out on a walk, and as often happens when I'm being really quiet and really open in the natural world, I had just a really powerful insight. And I had what I can only call a download of a list of topics in which I can bring these two things together very clearly. And last week was the first thing on that list, which was vision. And this week, we're talking about purpose. And so to get into purpose, I want to talk about two kinds of purpose with regard to our businesses. And remember, my whole goal here is to help you create a business and run a business, whether you've got an existing venture or you're wanting to start a business or you've got something that you want to grow. My goal here is to help you have a successful, lucrative, thriving business that you love that supports your life. In that intro, I talk about people who want to make a living without missing their lives. And to me, that means plenty of time to walk, to go outside, to connect with nature. If you like to garden, if you like to run, if you like to ride your bike, if you like to just sit on your deck and look at, or if you live near a beach, maybe you like to, walk on the beach. Whatever it is, I want to create space to help you create space in your life to connect with deeper wisdom and with the beauty of this natural world in any way that feels right and fulfilling and fun and happy to you. Because otherwise, why have a business, right? Why are we even doing this if it's not supporting our lives and our happiness? And that's not just monetarily. That's just overall. I make a lot of hand gestures when I record my podcast, and I'm making a big sort of umbrella motion right now. I'm saying overall. And that brings me to this idea of purpose. Two kinds of purpose that we're talking about today. One is purpose with a capital P. This is the big purpose, right? The big reason for your business. Some people refer to it as the big why, the purpose that you are hoping to achieve in the world with your business, the problem you solve, the people you help, the thing that you're trying to accomplish, and the thing that you've been inspired and called to do through your business venture. That's the big P purpose. And there are a lot of coaches out there and teachers that spend a lot of time talking about the big P purpose and finding your why and finding your people that you're going to serve, which is critical, of course, and really taking this really high level view of the purpose for your business, with the implication that if you just have a big enough purpose, if you have a big enough why, and you have this thing that you want to do with your life and your business, that somehow it's just going to be fine and it's all going to work out if you just have a big P purpose and you stay focused on that. Okay. Having a big P purpose is critical and very important. But there is the other kind of purpose of our business, and that is the little p purpose of making money. All right. You set up your venture as a business, presumably instead of a volunteer effort or something, presumably because you want to make money. You need to make money. The idea is to earn money to support your life, whether it's to pay your rent or buy your groceries or make the college payment or buy new shoes or contribute to a cause that's important to you. The little p purpose of a business is to make money. And when we neglect one P over the other P, or we favor one P over the other P, we run into trouble. And our businesses are not as successful or as fulfilling or as lucrative as they should be and could be. So, my message to you today is that you need to be focusing on both kinds of P's, if you will, both kinds of P's, the big P, overarching purpose, the important why that you're doing what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish in the bigger sense, but also on the money making side of your business. What happens is, if we put too much value or too much not value, too much focus on the big P, we end up with a big idea and not much more. We don't end up having the money needed to support that venture, no matter how noble it is, no matter how needed it is, no matter how important it is. If our focus is too much on the big P at the expense of the little p, then it's not sustainable. It will topple over. It's top heavy and there's no foundation to sustain it. And the sad thing about that, besides the fact that you've put, effort and time and emotion and passion into trying to establish this thing, is that people don't get to benefit, right? Nobody wins. You don't win. The people that you had hoped to serve don't win. Nobody wins if the foundation, the little p, is not also being attended to. And there is the opposite problem that happens sometimes too. You hear people in jobs and with businesses that they don't necessarily love, but it's working. And you'll hear people say, well, it pays the bills. It's like, well, do you like what you do? Well, it's okay, but it pays the bills. Okay. The problem with a venture that just pays the bills and is like kind of okay on the other end, but not terribly inspiring, or doesn't really have a big purpose, but it's providing widgets to the world and you're okay with that. The problem is eventually it's bottom heavy and it the bottom will fall out of it. I'm making up these analogies, but it doesn't work either, because eventually you're not pulled along by the inspiration. They just die of ennui eventually, because they're not inspiring. They're not exciting. They don't engender a sense of hope and that bigger importance. So when things aren't going that great, or when you have a bad month or a bad day, the chances are much higher that you're just going to fold, that eventually you're going to be like, this is just not worth the effort. I don't know why I thought I could do this. Business is too much of a pain in the neck. And yes, I made some money with it, but it wasn't that great. And you're just going to, go get a job, whatever. Both types of P's have to have attention and love and care and respect. So as you look at your own business, as you look at your own entrepreneurial venture, really give some consideration to, are you giving the amount of attention needed to both kinds of P's? And if not, what can you do about it? Well, there are a number of different things that you can do about it. You can join a community of other entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial women. There are a lot of different things online. There are masterminds and groups. There may be meetups in your community. Partner with another entrepreneur. Get together with another woman who's in business and really, talk to each other, explore things together. The other big thing that a lot of women are doing is that you can find a coach. I'm a coach. There are lots of coaches out there. You can find a coach who can help you with this. So if your problem is you're making some money, but you don't have your really big P in place, a coach can help you with that and talk you through that and find the big P that's going to inspire you and excite you and still make money. And on the other hand, if you've got a big purpose, and actually with women, I find this more often, is that there's a big purpose, there's a big why, there's a big desire to help and make a difference and make an impact and express themselves, but they're not really making that much money at it. And I hear you. I've been there. Honestly, I so sympathize with this, but it does not have to be your future. Just because it's been where you have been up to now, it doesn't have to be your future. And a coach can help with that as well. What you want to do when you're however you're addressing this, is you need to lay all your cards on the table, lay it all out, and look at the things that bring in money in your business, and look at everything that you're doing and trying to accomplish. And let's look at where is your cash flow and how can you better monetize certain things in a way that is in integrity and in alignment. Because honestly, friends, if you're not making money, the business is not sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, who wins? Who are you helping? All your big plans and all your big hopes, they're all for naught if no one can be helped by your business because it goes belly up because you're not making money. So there endeth today's lesson. The big P, the little p, all the P's need to be in alignment. Oh, before I go, I love me a good nature analogy. And I was thinking about this when I was walking the other day, which I recommend that every entrepreneurial woman take some time to do. And men, everyone needs to get outside and spend a little quiet time in nature. But anyway, I was on a walk the other day and I was kind of thinking about this topic and this podcast. And I looked at a tree. I was thinking about, I kind of live in a forested area here. I'm very, very fortunate. And it's very beautiful. And there are trees all around. I looked at a tree and I was thinking about the purpose of the tree. So go with me here. What is the purpose of a tree? What's the purpose? Well, it depends on your perspective. Of course, the one purpose of a tree is to clean the air, to provide oxygen. They take in CO2, right, and release oxygen so that we can live on this planet. Another purpose for a tree might be to hold the soil in place, to prevent erosion. The purpose of a tree might be to host birds or squirrels or other critters in its branches. Another purpose for a tree might be to hold a tire swing for a kid. It might be to provide shade for a patio or a house. You see where I'm going with this? So many different purposes. One purpose that I see trees in my forest serving all the time is as inspiration for me and for other people who live here. They inspire me and they make me happy. And that's a purpose as well. And none of these purposes, no one purpose is more important than another. It all depends on perspective. For the little kid on the tire swing, the solidity of that tree, the fact that it's holding up the tire swing is the most important purpose of that tree, right? So as you look at the tree and you imagine a tree with all the branches up there, every branch might represent a different purpose. And all of those purposes are valid and they're all important. And they all have to be balanced for the tree to live and thrive. It serves all of these purposes and they're all equally valid. Likewise, your business serves the purpose of helping the world, providing a service that's needed, providing something out there, allowing you to self-express and allowing you to make an income, to feel compensated and to feel proud and to feel happy because you're serving and because the energy exchange is fair, you're taking in the compensation that feels right to you. And, everything is right in the world. Everything is right in the world when all your purposes are working the way they need to be. So that is my message for you today, my friends. I will be back again next week with more of that list from my Downloads from Divinity blog post. And if you haven't seen that, I will put the link in the podcast episode here because that's where I talk about that list that came into my head as I was taking a walk. It will give you a preview of coming attractions because I'm going to be talking through all of these different subjects in subsequent podcasts. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful week and I will be back again soon. And if you would, wherever you're listening to this, I would love it if you would rate it, if you would give it a review. I'm new to this, and so every little bit helps. And of course, please do share. And if you have not already gone to alexstraussonline.com and downloaded my free training, please do it. It's so good, you guys. It's called Instant Raise, how to up-level your earning potential with natural elements in your workspace. And it's really good and it's really fun. And I think you would really, really like it. I'm really proud of it. That's at alexstraussonline.com. All right, guys, until next time, bye-bye.